I opened the door expecting a package. Instead, I found the woman my husband wouldn't stop comparing me to. Rachel stood on my doorstep, perfectly composed, holding a manila folder. The same Rachel he'd held up as the gold standard of wifehood for 2 years. The woman who could cook, clean, and somehow never prioritize her career over his comfort. She looked me in the eye and said 5 words. "He's doing it again." My stomach dropped, because for months I'd been drowning under the weight of not being enough. Not domestic enough. Not soft enough. Not wife material. Not like her. And here she was, warning me. Why would the woman he worshipped want to save me? I stepped aside. She walked in. What she told me in the next 20 minutes dismantled my entire marriage. But it also handed me the blueprint to take everything back. Drop your location and what time it is where you are. And if you want to see how this ends, hit that subscribe button now, because you're about to learn how a perfect ex-wife became my secret weapon. Let me back up. 2 years ago, I thought I'd met the one. Charming, successful, attentive. We married fast. Maybe too fast. I'm a marketing director. I make 6 figures. I owned my condo outright before we ever met. I wasn't some naive kid. I was confident, independent, happy. And then slowly, I wasn't. It started small. "Rachel would have made this from scratch," he'd say, poking at my store-bought lasagna. Rachel kept the house spotless. She took pride in it. Rachel never let work come first. Rachel. His ex-wife became a ghost in our home, an impossible standard I could never reach. Every accomplishment I earned? Dismissed. Every flaw? Magnified. I stopped seeing friends. Stopped trusting my own memory. I started therapy, and even my therapist suggested maybe I was too sensitive. I thought I was failing at marriage. I started keeping obsessive records. Every email. Every bank statement. Every receipt. Childhood anxiety habit I'd never shaken. I didn't know it yet, but that habit was about to save my life. Because 3 weeks before Rachel showed up at my door, my husband made a request. He wanted me to add his name to the deed of my condo. And he wrapped it in the language of love. We were sitting at dinner when he brought it up. "I've been thinking," he said. "It's time we made this official. Really official." I looked up from my plate. "I want to be on the deed. For the condo." My condo. My premarital asset. I hesitated. "Why?" He smiled. That patient, slightly disappointed smile. "Because real wives share everything. I feel like a guest in my own home." Rachel never made me feel like that. There it was. Rachel again. I need to think about it." His face changed. "Think about it? You're my wife. This is what commitment looks like. Or are you saying you don't trust me?" I didn't say that. You didn't have to. The silent treatment started that night. 3 days of coldness, then love bombing, apologies, flowers, promises. "I just want us to be real partners," he said, holding me. "I want to feel like we're building something together." Rachel understood that. I broke. "Okay, I'll do it." His smile was instant, triumphant. "I knew you'd come around. You're finally learning what marriage means." I scheduled the notary appointment for 3 weeks out. Relief and dread hit me in equal measure. I thought I'd made the right choice. I had no idea I'd just agreed to hand over everything. I mentioned the deed thing to my best friend over lunch. A rare outing he'd actually allowed. Her face went pale. "That's not normal. That's financial abuse." I defended him instantly. "He's right, though. I am difficult. I do put work first. Maybe Rachel really was better at this." She stared at me. "Listen to yourself." That night, she sent me 3 articles on coercive control. I couldn't sleep. At 2 in the morning, I Googled his name and Rachel's name together. Nothing. Then I searched just her. Rachel Wilder. Her LinkedIn popped up. Therapist, specializing in narcissistic abuse recovery. My hands shook. Coincidence, I told myself. Had to be. But I couldn't stop thinking. Couldn't stop the pattern from forming in my mind. I thought about canceling the notary appointment. But I was so tired. Too tired to fight. Too confused to trust my own instincts. I decided to go through with it. The appointment was in 2 days. And then, the morning before I was supposed to sign my life away, Rachel knocked on my door, holding proof that I wasn't crazy. I was just the latest victim in a very old game. Rachel sat across from me at my kitchen table, calm, steady, healed. She slid the folder across. "Open it." Inside was a divorce decree. Hers, from my husband. Dated 4 years ago. I scanned the settlement terms and my blood went cold. Rachel had signed over her half of their house, her car, and $40,000 from a family inheritance. In the margins, in her own handwriting, were notes. I believed I deserved this because I wasn't good enough. I looked up at her. "He told me I wasn't wife material either," she said quietly. "He told me his college girlfriend was perfect, that I'd never measure up. I spent 2 years trying to become her." The room tilted. And then I signed everything away just to make the pain stop. I couldn't speak. "Why now?" I finally managed. "Why warn me?" "Because I saw your engagement announcement. Then your LinkedIn? You're successful, kind, you have assets." She paused. "He has a type. Accomplished women with something to take and low enough self-worth that will give it to him." I wanted to believe it was a coincidence. Then Rachel said the words that changed everything. "There's more. And it's happening right now." Rachel explained carefully. After she left him, she tried to warn the next woman. A colleague saw them together, and Rachel reached out. He retaliated, filed for a restraining order. It was dismissed, but the damage was done. He told everyone she was obsessed, unhinged. So this time I waited. I watched from a distance. 2 months ago, she noticed my social media went dark. Then she heard through mutual acquaintances that he was telling people I was mentally unstable, that he was trying to protect our assets, setting the stage. Rachel left after an hour. I promised to stall him. That night, he came home. I played normal, but I watched him differently now. He kissed my forehead. "Did you confirm the notary appointment?" "Yes. Good girl, see? Rachel never trusted me like you do." The words landed like ice water. I smiled, nodded. Inside, I was screaming. The appointment was tomorrow. If I signed, I'd lose the condo. My equity, my exit. Rachel had told me to stall, to buy time. But I didn't want to stall. I wanted to dig. I wanted proof. And I wanted him to know exactly who he'd underestimated. Because I wasn't Rachel. I wasn't going to disappear quietly. I was going to burn his playbook to the ground. I met Rachel at a coffee shop the next morning. I'd texted my husband that I had a work emergency. She brought a second folder. This one was heavier. Inside were printouts from an online forum. A men's financial strategy group. The username was anonymous, but the details weren't. Same job title as my husband. Same city, same alma mater, same timeline. The post was from 3 months into our marriage. I read it twice because I couldn't believe it the first time. Marry a high earner with low self-esteem. Erode confidence further with comparisons. Secure asset transfer. Exit clean. Rinse and repeat. Word for word, it was our life. Phrases he'd used in our private fights were right there on the screen. Time-stamped, documented. Rachel pointed to the second document. A credit report summary. $86,000 in debt across 5 maxed-out credit cards. Gambling losses. Cash advances. Minimum payments. He needs your condo, Rachel said. Not wants, needs. I stared at the numbers. It was never about me. I was a transaction, a mark. A solution to his debt. I didn't cry. I got angry. And anger, I learned that morning, is just clarity with momentum. Rachel connected the final dots. My husband works in finance. Project success. Drives a leased luxury car. Wears expensive suits. But the gambling addiction started in college. Rachel only found out after they were married. By then, he'd drained her savings with sob stories and promises. When she had nothing left, he moved on. He cycles every 3 to 4 years, Rachel explained. Charm, marry, destabilize, extract, discard, repeat. She'd found 2 other women on social media, both professionals. Both had scrubbed him from their profiles entirely. One worked in tech, the other in law. He'd been married or engaged to at least 4 women that Rachel could confirm. The debt kept growing. The image obsession kept growing. And the pattern stayed the same. The wife material script? Rachel said. It's copy-paste. He used it on me. He used it on the one before me. He's using it on you. My $425,000 condo was the solution to his $86,000 problem. Plus a comfortable cushion to keep gambling. He didn't love me. He didn't even hate me. I was just an ATM with emotions he knew how to manipulate. I asked Rachel what she did after she found out. She smiled. I got a lawyer. I disappeared my money. Then I left. I was going to do the same, but louder. I texted him from the coffee shop. Food poisoning, so sorry. Need to reschedule the notary. His reply came in seconds. Again? You're always sick when it matters. I didn't respond. Instead, I called the family law attorney Rachel recommended, a shark who specialized in coercive control cases. I paid the retainer that afternoon. $5,000. Worth every penny. Her advice was surgical. Document everything. Do not leave the home. It establishes residence rights. Freeze joint accounts. File for legal separation. Protect the condo as separate property. If he escalates, file for a restraining order. I moved fast. I pulled every financial record I'd been hoarding. Every email. Every text. Changed every password. Opened a new bank account at a different institution. Rerouted my paycheck. Moved my grandmother's jewelry and my important documents to my best friend's house. All of it in 48 hours. I was methodical. I was calm. I was done being the victim in someone else's script. My attorney drafted the legal separation motion, a petition to protect my separate property, and a restraining order application ready to file if he retaliated. He thought he was hunting. He didn't realize he'd walked into a trap. And Rachel had handed me the blueprints. My attorney filed the legal separation petition on a Wednesday morning. The motion included protection of my separate property, the condo, and a request for a restraining order based on financial coercion. He was served at his office, in front of his colleagues. He came home that night like a storm, slammed the door, threw his briefcase. What the hell did you do? I stayed calm. My phone was recording. One-party consent state. I filed for separation. You're insane. You're proving everything I said about you. I'll destroy you. I'll take everything. No, I said. You won't. He froze. I continued, voice level. I know about Rachel. I know about the forum post. I know about the $86,000 in debt you've been hiding. His face drained of color, and Rachel's attorney is filing a fraud claim to reopen her divorce settlement. Because you hid assets during that one, too. Silence. He tried to recover. Switched tactics. Baby, listen. This is a misunderstanding. We can fix this. I love you. My attorney has everything. The forum screenshots. The credit report. Rachel's testimony. The recordings of you coercing me to sign over my home. He stared. The deed stays mine. You have 24 hours to move out. Or I file the restraining order with all of this evidence attached. His charm evaporated. You can't do this. I already did. My attorney joined on speakerphone right on cue. Mr. Evans, this is Attorney Morris. The motion has been filed. The hearing is scheduled in 2 weeks. All evidence has been logged with the court. I suggest you retain counsel. He looked at me like he'd never seen me before. Maybe he hadn't. Maybe he'd only ever seen a mark. He tried bargaining, threatening, pleading. I didn't blink. He left that night. I changed the locks within the hour. The door closed. The lock turned. And for the first time in 2 years, I exhaled completely. The hearing happened 2 weeks later. The judge granted the legal separation. My condo was protected as separate property. No contest. The restraining order was issued for 1 year based on the evidence of financial coercion and the recording. My ex didn't even show up. His attorney negotiated everything. But the fallout didn't stop there. Someone, I don't know who, sent the forum post to his employer, a financial services firm with a strict ethics code. He resigned quietly a week later. Our mutual friends? Once two more women came forward with similar stories, his reputation collapsed. The charming facade cracked. People started comparing notes. He moved 2 states away within a month. I didn't pursue him for damages. I didn't want his money. I just wanted him gone. And he was? Rachel's fraud claim took longer, but it succeeded. She recovered $18,000 and received a formal apology on legal letterhead from his attorney. Not enough. But something. She and I became real friends. Unlikely allies in the strangest way. I started therapy again. Real therapy this time. I processed the trauma. Rebuilt my self-worth brick by brick. It took months. I still keep meticulous records. But now it's not anxiety. It's empowerment. A year later, I'm dating again. Slowly, carefully. I know red flags now. I know manipulation tactics. And I know my value. The condo, I kept it. Painted every room. New furniture. New art. Filled it with my own life. My own rules, no ghosts. No comparisons. No script but mine. I learned something through all of this. You are not the problem in someone else's pattern. And the moment you stop trying to prove your worth to someone who's weaponizing it, you take all your power back. So let me ask you, have you ever had someone compare you to an ex just to control you? Have you ever felt like you were never enough no matter what you did? Drop your story in the comments. This community sees you, you're not alone. And if this story helped you recognize a pattern in your own life, hit that subscribe button. You are worth more than anyone's script. You are worth safety, respect, and peace. One last thing. This story is a fictionalized dramatization for educational purposes. It is not legal or financial advice. If you're in a controlling relationship, please reach out to a licensed professional or a domestic violence hotline. You deserve to be free. Thank you for watching. And remember, the best revenge isn't living well. It's living honestly. I've never slept better.